Hi, I'm Ellen McCauley, and I'm at Pray It Off. 1 week before Thanksgiving. There's a book. I took a whole group of people to the library this morning, talk about, it was just so many great books. And one of the ones I saw was a new book called How to Pray. And there was 3 words, and it was help, thanks, and wow. And it was a very thin book, and I skimmed through it really quickly. And she said I wasn't a good prayer, and I noticed that I had no trouble with the help part. Help me, God. Help me with my sick this or my problem here. And she goes, and I was a little mediocre on the thanks. Thanks for this. Thanks for that. Thanks for answering this prayer. And then the third one was wow. And just some time throughout your day, I've been having so many wow moments just driving to work because I'm at the top of that hill and I'm going down, and sometimes that morning sky is so beautiful and I just go, wow. And that, if we think of those things, help, thanks, and wow. And today I want to concentrate a little bit on the thanks part of it, because it's funny. I consider myself a pretty grateful person. And gratitude shows a consistency between your exterior life and your interior life. And Jesus talks about the Pharisees who outwardly were pious, but inwardly they were filled with contempt, and they were hypocrites, you know? And if we give thanks and we truly are grateful, it'll show on the outside as well as the inside. And there are weeks where I go, I try so hard and I don't lose weight. You could spiral into a depression. Instead you go, wow, thanks for everything you've done for me so far, and thanks for this group, and thanks for the friendships, and thanks for what we've learned. We can look at different situations and say, what is there in this situation to be grateful about? And then being grateful internally challenges us to ask ourselves how much of our behavior and our attitude and our way of dealing with others is consistent with our faith and our practice of religion. Are we consistently being the best person that we could be? I don't mean just showing up. Because there's so many people that can be out smoking crack all night long, and they're going to be at 7:30 Mass because that's what they do. We happen to know many people like that. No, I'm only kidding. But the thing is, going to Mass and showing up isn't what I'm talking about. It's like in our daily lives, are we consistently trying to be the best that we can be? Because God knows our heart. If you miss Mass on Sunday because you're going to Francis' house to comfort someone who's dying, do you think Jesus is up there going, hey, wait a minute, what about Mass? I happen to think Jesus is saying, comfort, love. We can get so bogged down with the rules, and I'm not telling you not to go to church. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it the rules or our heart? Because Jesus knows our heart. And let's talk about the consistency in the weight loss. Are we showing up because you think I'm going to call you and bug you? Or are you showing up because you're really committed? Out of the now 95 people in the group, I would say 20 are so committed, totally committed to a healthy lifestyle. That's not bad. And then there's a great deal more who are trying. They really are. And then there's a few who are so bogged down by life. And believe me, I can dig that. I can understand how life can chase us into that kitchen. But I do also know that when I went up and down and up and down, I wasn't armored to fight the battles of the world as well as when I'm trying to live healthy. Consistency, and then we transform ourselves on the inside and the outside, both with our faith and with our weight loss. The next article talks about gratitude, faith, and clarity of purpose, the most powerful statement. There are people that I know, and I'm sure you do too, that never have a positive slant on anything. It's almost amazing to me because they make me look like Pollyanna. Like, if you go to a beautiful function and everything's so lovely and they say, yeah, but the rolls weren't hot. Yeah, I want a hot roll. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? That's what you take away? Or even we had, everything went really great yesterday and someone said, well, we should have another one, like right away, because there's people who couldn't go and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how, And then somebody else is like, well, I think we need to tweak a few things and change a few things. And I say, even Coach Boeheim says to his team, let's enjoy this victory before we prepare for the game tomorrow. I like to look at things and see the positive things. Also, if there is bad things, we need to ascertain how bad is it. Is it bad if someone forgets keys or forgets something, or is Hurricane Sandy bad? We need to have our reactions be directly related to the level of the badness. If you lock your purse and your daughter's purse in the trunk of the car, you think it's pretty safe. And then you come out and they're not there. To me, that's upsetting. That is upsetting. Now, am I going to say, let's look at the bright side, now you can buy a new purse? I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that's awful. There are things where it's hard to find the bright side. But as Jean says, and it's often used, this too shall pass. I'm not even going to say that to anyone where that happens to, because they don't want to hear that. But you can say, oh my gosh, that's awful. That is awful, awful, awful. What you don't say is, well, let me tell you about my sister's aunt's mother, whose house was broken into. You think you got it bad? Well, her whole house was demolished. I mean, just let somebody have something bad, you say how bad it is, and then it will pass, but they need to deal with it then and there. Also, we're alive. We can change, we can choose. As long as we have a breath. Change, we're always so afraid of it, and sometimes it's the most wonderful thing that can happen to us. Gratitude. Are we grateful for our blessings? Do we have faith that things can be better, but we're going to have to maybe do a little work? Do we know what our clarity of purpose is? If you don't have a purpose, it's hard to be clear on what it is. Faith and gratitude and a sense of purpose, they call it the tripod of a successful mindset. God will help us. I'm thankful for my life, and I'm going to get healthy. That is a tripod. We have to clearly define our readiness for change. And you say, why are you talking about change the week before Thanksgiving? Is Thanksgiving a time where we strap on the feed bucket? Or is Thanksgiving where we are truly grateful? Last Thanksgiving, I said, I want my mom and my sister Kathy at the Thanksgiving meal, please, Lord Jesus. Did I say, I want the gravy to be as good as it was this year, Lord Jesus? I did not say that. And He has not let me down. He never has. I'm going to stop right there, Bobby.